Hello, happy Tuesday at 2. I'm again going to try to take my time to adjust the computer before I leap in. Um, so, welcome to my Tuesday at 2. My name is Megan, and I'm a holistic integrative nutrition health coach and a personal trainer, and I love to help people clean up their eating and heal their lives to lower more and more stress, come into alignment with their worth and purpose. It's what I do with my one-on-ones, it's what I do with my group. It's what I do with my personal training clients. I love it. So if you are joining me, say hi, please comment. I'll close that. Hopefully the comments are on. Feel free to comment. I like these to be conversational. If you catch the replay, Christy, hi. Christy's here. If you catch the replay, please comment. Also, I'll come back through. I'll chat with you guys. Hopefully your Tuesday is going well. I have some renegade curl going on here. See that? There's not much you can do if you have curly hair. And if you have curly hair, you get it. And it's a little wet. So today we're going to talk about like another layer of habits. Because habits are up for a lot of people. I'm reading a book on habits. I always try to be mindful of habits and shift them if they're not serving me and watch them if they try to creep back in like old ones. But there's like layers under the layers, right? So I just want to talk a little bit about that today, like my opinion, and see how you guys feel about it. See if you agree, see what comes up for you. Just chat a little bit about habits because we're always wanting to create better habits or release bad habits that may have served us or not even 20 years ago, but now they definitely don't. So we want to shift into something that does. But before we do that, I just want to breathe. I just want to breathe 3 times. I'm going to kick off my house flops, which makes me shorter, whatever. And the curl. Oh my gosh. It's a Tuesday. So let's just breathe 3 breaths and ground ground the middle of your day, ground my day, and then we'll go on. So today is a sacral chakra day. The sacral chakra is between your hip bones and your belly button. It's basically the oven, it's the womb, it's the manifestation, it's where we create things. And so I want to just breathe in white light and just ground and love and protect everything we're calling in, because there's a lot of days, many of the days, where we want to head towards our goals and aim towards our goals and work towards our goals and be more in alignment with our goals and do towards our goals. And then there are occasionally, once in a while, days that we need to just love and protect us, our heart, our thoughts, what we're calling in, kind of like sit on the egg, right? Like a bird sitting on the egg. So this is one of those days. So we're just going to breathe white light 3 times into our sacral chakra. So soften, feet on the floor. Inhale white light to your sacral. Exhale this white light. I love and protect what I'm calling in, all I'm calling in, all that is here, all that has started to show up, all that is releasing for my benefit. Inhale white light to your sacral chakra. Exhale, I love and protect. Yeah, send it down through your feet is a good thing. Inhale one last time, white light to your sacral. Exhale, I love and protect. Good. That always grounds me. Whether it's selfish or hopefully you guys benefit too. So the people I have a little coaching group as well as one-on-ones. And my coaching group have been opening up so much and seeing habits and patterns they want to shift out of or shift into, right? Things they want to call in, things they want to shift, old patterns and habits. For example, there's a couple examples I'll give. I mean, obviously there's millions, right? And then chime in, like if you have these habits too, or had these habits and like another thing comes in besides what I'm saying, share, let's talk. So the first example I'm going to say is checking their phones. Like when I put up a question in my group last week, I think it was, I was like, what are you shifting out of? What are you calling in? And the first person said, checking my phone. Right. And one of them said to me prior that she wanted to gain time in the morning, right? She's like, I just lose time between these 30 minutes. And the other person's like, I just want to gain time so it's not a hectic scramble out the door. And then, she might have had water, but she forgot to grab her tea, or whatever, right? Do whatever you tend to not have time to do in the morning. So or in the morning, or in the middle of the day now, or in the evening, right? If you like, do you lose time? Because there are times in my day, it's not necessarily phone related always for me. Sometimes it is. I mean, who has it that it's not phone related, right? But often for me, I'm just hovering. I'm like hovering before I start exercising, or like I'm hovering before I practice, or I'm hovering. And I don't need to hover. I don't know what that is, because once you start like cycling, or once you start practicing, or once you're in it and you're doing it. But like I know that I could probably at least gain half an hour from I have been mindfully shifting my hovers, and there are a couple habits I can share with you that I've proudly shifted. Like, I don't leave Mount Laundry on the chair anymore. It's folded in a way. Mount Laundry doesn't exist. Since January, Mount Laundry has not existed. But and then another habit that came up for people this week in my group was releasing a long habit of having an evening drink. And she doesn't want to have an evening drink, but she's in this habit and pattern. And I want to talk about further, like why that could be, right? Because she wants to wake up more easily without a neck ache, without a headache, and actually exercise like she loves to do in the morning, or meditate, right? They see, and we're talking about what surrounds those habits for them, right? Sometimes, yes, they're mindful patterns, like checking our phone. Like sometimes you're just not there. It's the same thing with mindless eating, right? That we've talked about before. I'll clearly do more lives on um, shifting out of mindless eating patterns, because I know that so many people struggle with that, and that is so hard and sabotaging, right? But sometimes they are mindless habits. Like you just pick up your phone and they're in there, and you went in to do something. You went in to check a specific email, or you went in to actually order a fitted sheet for your whatever, right? And then you end up on some Instagram and you don't even remember that you went in to check your phone for the fitted sheet, right? Sometimes the person who shared the having the evening drink, sometimes it comes up as, she was sharing like covering up loneliness, or, something. Sometimes her mind is loud saying, well, I really deserve this evening drink, right? Although she, like, soul, spirit, heart portion of her, right? She's not her mind. You are not your mind. You are your heart. Your mind is at the behest of your heart. So if her mind's like, I deserve this drink, actually, she doesn't want it. And she likes to wake up more easily without the neck ache. And she doesn't like this pattern. She's been wanting to break this pattern, and she's broken it. And then she goes back in and she wants to break it, and she's broken it, right? Sure, her heart knows that actually what she does deserve is to feel clear in the morning and exercise and meditate, because that's what she likes, right? That's what she does deserve. Her mind wants to be in the pattern or the habit. So I just want to put out there that there's another layer, or 200, right? But I'll share it, just my opinion today, um, to feel into when it comes to habits you're wanting to shift. I really feel, from experience for me and from experience of supporting people, that we are actually also addicted and attached to the pattern, not just to the thing that is the pattern, right? If the pattern or the habit is checking your phone, yes, you're addicted to the input, or maybe it's mindless, or you're addicted to the sugar in the alcohol, or the evening eating, which I'll share a bit about me in a minute. But like, I feel like we're actually also attached to the action, like a smoker, right? There are people who smoke cigarettes, and some of it is definitely the nicotine, and some of it is actually going outside, and the physical habit, right? Beyond the actual nicotine. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I feel like we're also addicted to the action, and to the pattern, and to the habit, and we're attached, right? The loneliness underneath her evening drink can also be seen as an addiction or an attachment, not only to like the physical drink or the mind saying she loudly deserves it, but it's also it's an attachment to the external, like saying that I need and I want something from the external, like I'm lonely, I need people, or I need attention, or I need whatever, right? It's not to say that loneliness doesn't exist. It does exist. But if this is attached to your evening drink, it's also then associated and attached thoughts, right? So in the evening, the pattern of those thoughts is running, right? The habit of these, isn't the routine of XYZ a safety thing? It's definitely a safety thing because it's a familiar, comfortable, uncomfortable space. And it's familiar and it's comfortable, but it's uncomfortable. So if I'm giving her example, like if I don't want that evening drink because I actually really like waking up clear, no neck ache, no headache, I want to meditate, I get up easier, I exercise, I just do my stuff all better. That's the new habit, but it's very, very comfortable if it's 8 PM, 9 PM, 10 PM, 7:30 PM, right? When all of a sudden your mind goes into that, it's a mental as well as physical, right? The sugar from the alcohol or you know, the alcohol itself, which is the sugar's an opiate, but then the alcohol is addictive as well. It's the thought process comes in like I'm lonely or I deserve this or I don't know if I'm trying to be clear, but I really feel like the thought pattern is one of the most important things to look at and shift to take care of yourself, to start helping you shift out of habits, right? It's a well practiced feeling and associated with those attached thoughts, right? The drink isn't a deserved cover if it ultimately doesn't feel good to you, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You no longer serve me. I see you. I see this pattern. I see this loneliness pattern, right? And we can look at loneliness. We can go into loneliness. We can see what that feels like. Does it feel like when you were a toddler? Does it feel like high school? Does it feel like past life? Does it feel like after you're divorced? Does it feel right? It feels different. But like it makes your morning generally take one for the team, right? And that feels bad. So you deserve to feel good. Right? It's always been you. And that's the thing that I've had to come to learn. You are the salve for your mind. Therapists can help. I've had definitely help from therapists. Coaches can help. My shaman can help, right? But ultimately, it's me. I am the salve, right? I am my rescue. I am my feeling better. I am in good company with me. I am my safety, my security, right? It doesn't matter if you're married and you have 3 children. It doesn't matter, and happy, or married and unhappy, or single and happy, or single and unhappy, right? You are who will rescue you, right? You are who will see you and hear you and like you, right? For a long time, I just didn't like myself. So I did everything possible to try to, like, I also ran loneliness and I also ran the need for external, although the external never made me feel better because I was just deeply, darkly lonely, whether I was living with someone for 10 years or not, right? Um, the only person who is going to cherish and support you for real will always be you. It will always be you. So for me, um, I mean, I've shared some things over the years, but still what runs sometimes is evening eating, right? I sometimes my disordered eating runs, and why and when that varies time to time, right? And I can look at it and I can actually see what's up. I can see what's up. It doesn't mean that it doesn't run, but it means that I address myself, I respond to myself, I take care of myself in that way, right? But my evening eating still lingers sometimes as an addiction or an attachment, right? And I have to now always choose me. It's not every evening, it's not every evening, but it can be frequent or not, right? And I can see what's up, like, you know, is somebody in town visiting, or is there some sort of pressure on me with work, or is there, like, what am I letting run that makes me feel like I need to fill myself further with padding or the safety, like Christy brought up, um, of the familiar uncomfortable go-tos, right? That never served me, actually hurt me, and don't feel good now. They don't feel good now. It doesn't run, right? So I always choose me. And the morning after I have taken care of myself mindfully with that, right? Knowing that I can step in and just be done eating when my system is done eating for the day, right? I feel fine. Like my physical body does not need any more food and I'm good. And I had, a delicious sweet snack in the evening, right? When I know my system's done and I can go into that more, every morning I wake up, I'm appreciative and grateful and proud. I wake up the next morning and I'm like, wow, I actually feel really good. I'm ready for breakfast. I'm ready to like start this day. And I feel very appreciative of me taking care of me, grateful for me seeing stuff, right? That's coming in that wants to come and circle around again, right? And proud of myself because I've been decades out of pretty loud running, disordered eating and exercise and life. But it's not to say I'm infallible or perfect or, I mean, they always say once you've had an eating disorder or an addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs or whatever, you had it, you run it, you're still it, but you're just living very differently and in a different space, and you don't have to necessarily own that identity, but you still need to respond to yourself more, respond to yourself tenderly, act towards yourself as you intend so that when you wake up the next morning, right? I can be appreciative and grateful and proud, right? One way to think about these things, if you're going to look at small things, small habits like checking your phone or that evening drink she was talking about, right? Make it tricky. Make it tricky for you to go into those, right? Make it tricky so that you can release it. So keep your phone, if you don't want to check your phone first thing in the morning, keep your phone plugged in right outside your door in the hallway overnight. Use a different alarm, use your watch alarm, or use the alarm on the phone that you'll hear through the door, but keep it outside, right? So it's not an immediate first pattern check, right? Or keep it. So one of my clients also, she's like, I get up, I'm fine, I meditate. Then she gets lost in her phone for like 30 minutes. And then she's like scrambling for breakfast and to get the kids out of the house. So she wants those 30 minutes. So after meditation, because she uses her phone for the alarm, she's going to put her phone in another room and take those 30 minutes to eat and make lunch and do whatever she wants to do. And then she can put her phone like in her bag when the kids are out the door, right? Or check after those 30 minutes. But put it, if you keep it in another room after meditation so you can gain 30 minutes that you always seem to lose, right? And then you can also play with setting alarms for phone up and phone down time. So if you really need to get something done, like I had to get something done this morning. I really needed to get stuff done this morning. And so I said, I'm going to get stuff done. And I left my phone in the kitchen and I did the first thing. So I got stuff done and then I checked my phone. And did I lose a little time? I did lose a little time. So I could have used to check my phone later, but I did get this stuff done. Just give yourself designated phone up, phone down times. I don't know if that's helpful, but it does help me, right? If you really are done with that habitual evening drink, don't keep alcohol in your house, which is easy to say if you're single, right? And the other person, or if you're with somebody and the other person just doesn't care, right? But you can also swap your evening drink for a walk outside. This curl is just something else, isn't it? Swap that drink for a walk outside with like a high-tech flashlight and a cup of tea. Like you don't have to go far, but just wander through your block or something and just swap it with an action of going outside, or go to bed earlier and meditate for 7 minutes or 17 minutes before you go to sleep and swap out that drink. Like, I'm just going to turn in early, go to bed, meditate, read your book, do the Silva 3, 2, 1 countdown that I've been practicing, the centering, right? You can also, if you're married, you can tell your wife that you'll pay her $300 every time you have an evening drink because you don't want to. And if she has one, it's okay because that's hers. But every time you have an evening drink, you're going to pay her $300. Or your best friend, I'll pay you $300 every time I have an evening drink. Probably that's going to be a deterrent because why? Because I actually want to wake up feeling clear with no neck ache so that I can exercise to get towards my mental clarity, my emotional balance, shifting my relationships, handling stress with a new job, right? Meditating. Why do I want to not have this evening drink? There's a lot of whys, right? There's a lot of whys. So you can start tonight, right? You can start tonight, and then tomorrow, you start tomorrow when it's tonight, right? Like today is day one, and then tomorrow is day two, but it's day one. And then Thursday is day three, but then it's day one. Does that make sense? Just let yourself, you can count the days, you can keep track. I did for meditation for a long time and it helped, but then I realized that, it was over a year and I really didn't need to count anymore because now it was a pattern or a habit that I've set that felt very comfortable that I won't not do. I will always do it because it feels good to me. It feels right. It feels supportive and beneficial in so many ways, right? Celebrate like I do in the mornings on your pillow that you didn't go further into the food or that you didn't have that evening drink or that you didn't wake up right now. You're on your pillow and you've not checked your phone. Celebrate. It can be a nanosecond, but celebrate. Just be so appreciative of you for you, right? Grateful to you. Thank you for me, right? And if the patterns run in that you want to go check your phone right away, you can just say, thank you. You no longer serve me, and I will check you in 10 minutes, right? And set your watch or whatever, the microwave for 10 minutes and give yourself at least 5 minutes. Just give yourself space so you train yourself, right? Celebrate how you feel in the morning, all over in every aspect, that you didn't check your phone right away, that you didn't go into that evening drink, that you didn't just keep randomly eating because that's an old habit or pattern that does not make you feel good, but made you feel good, right? Memorize the feeling that morning when you're appreciating yourself and grateful, and that's your why. Why? Because this is how I feel in the morning, and this is how I start my day. I've read a couple things. I've read that the first 10 minutes sets the tone of your whole day. I've read that. And then on the flip side, past couple weeks, I've heard Wayne Dyer clips. I've heard him shown different places where like the last 5 to 10 minutes of your day, which I think both of these are true, really program your subconscious and your quality of sleep. Right. So for me and for that other client, it's going to be, I'm going to respond to myself and check in with myself. And my body is done eating today. She feels good. I gave her good food. Felt really good. Because people will say, I've eaten like a queen, like a goddess, like spectacularly, gorgeously clean for the entire day. And then comes the evening and I blow everything, right? People have, and that used to be me, although I didn't eat spectacularly clean all day long either. And then on the flip side with the phone thing, it could be in the mornings or it could be after work or it could be after school or it could be after whatever, right? So check where those things are, because if they're right before bed, if you're like down the rabbit hole before bed, that sets the quality of your subconscious in your sleep, right? And if it's the first 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning, that sets the tone of your day. Like, do you get up in the morning and put out fires in your phone? Do you get up in the morning and address you and drink water first and have lemon water and eat something and then choose to put out fires? Like it's just all it's all choice, but we have to be gentle with ourselves because I really do believe that there are so many more layers under habits than just it takes 28 days to change a habit, or it takes 40 days to instill a habit, or it takes 7 days, whatever people say, right? I feel like there's layers underneath. And and for example, somebody else was like, I end up eating cookies in bed in the evening. And we went underneath and we went underneath and we went underneath. And eventually she was like, it feels like when I was little, my mom and I would read books in bed and I would have snacks. So it was comfort. So it's finding out what else might feel comforting, or what else might feel um, supportive in the evening that would bring her a similar, warm, loving feeling than feeling hurt eating cookies in bed every night. Right? Let me know if this resonates. Let me know if because I've talked about habits before and I can talk deeper about habits, but I just wanted to look at the mental attachment and the mental um, addictions that we have to these habits. It's not just the habits, it's the attachment we have to the thoughts associated with the habits and the thoughts that bring us into the habits, which are more important to shift and will shift the habits on their own anyway, if I'm speaking English. Anyway, so if this resonates with you, I I love talking with people. I love talking to people here. I love coaching people. I also have a private Facebook group. Some people are in it, but if you're in it, yay. Thank you for being in it. And if you're not, join us. Every week I share like exclusive content, I ask questions, I share videos. There are occasionally lives like I do here, like here, I'll do lives in there on how to feel confident eating more healthy, finding more work life health balance. People will post recipes, people will post questions, people will share some wins, or it's fun. It's a fun little group. It's like 300 plus people. I'm open to it being as big as it gets because it's private. Like you can't necessarily share stuff out. So if you want to bring up a health topic within the group, it's not going to go all over everywhere. And it's a little community of like minded, beautiful people. And we'd love to have you. So if you're in there, thank you. And I love you. And if you're not, visit the group. It's under in the, do you call it comments or content underneath? Christy, thank you, Christy. In the content and comments underneath, there's a link. It'll say private Facebook group. But just go, come in. I mean, come join. If it's not for you, it's okay. You can leave. But we'd love to have you in there, and I'd love to support you further. So I hope this resonated. I hope this felt like a good live for you guys. And I'll be back next Tuesday, which is 19th, I think. We're already halfway through February. February. We're already halfway through September. February. Apparently, I'm in February. All right. Love you guys. Have a good afternoon.